1. When interpreting crossed arms during a meeting, which is the most effective way to evaluate this nonverbal signal in adult learners? A. Assume the learner is always resistant. E. Observe the context and combine it with other cues. C. Ignore the body language entirely. D. Conclude they're disengaged without further analysis. 2. Which body language cue best demonstrates active listening in a training session? A. Looking away frequently. B. Slight forward lean with nodding. C. Arms folded tightly. D. Avoiding all gestures. 3. During mentoring, a mentee avoids eye contact while nodding. What is the most accurate interpretation? A. They fully agree with the mentor. B. They are distracted and inattentive. C. They may feel nervous or unsure. They are preparing to challenge the mentor. 4. In curriculum development workshops, how can facilitators use body language to reinforce engagement? A. Stand rigidly behind a podium. B. Maintain open posture and expressive gestures. C. Avoid making eye contact. D. Speak while looking at slides only. 5. Which nonverbal behavior indicates regulatory compliance in a training assessment setting? A. Slouched posture with crossed legs. B. Consistent upright posture with attention toward the evaluator. C. Fidgeting and tapping feet. D. Avoiding eye contact. 6. Which is a reliable nonverbal sign of learner confusion during evaluation? A. Sustained eye contact. B. Tilted head and furrowed brows. C. Relaxed shoulders. D. Smiling with arms open. 7. When teaching communication skills, which nonverbal action should instructors model? A. Avoid hand gestures. B. Use congruent gestures to emphasize points. C. Keep hands hidden to minimize distraction. D. Only rely on verbal instruction. 8. In a compliance seminar, what does excessive fidgeting likely indicate? A. Mastery of the material. B. Nervousness or discomfort. C. Total disengagement. D. Regulatory understanding. 9. How can body language be integrated into evaluation methods for adult learners? A. By ignoring nonverbal cues during assessment. By monitoring gestures, posture, and facial expressions alongside responses. C. By only using written tests. D. By penalizing learners for negative cues. 10. During mentoring, mirroring body language is most effective when A. It is subtle and respectful. B. It is exaggerated and constant. C. It contradicts verbal messages. D. It replaces all verbal feedback. 11. Which posture conveys confidence and authority in training delivery? A. Slouched with hands in pockets. B. Standing tall with shoulders back. C. Leaning heavily on a table. D. Avoiding movement. 12. During an evaluation, a learner repeatedly glances at the clock. What does this most likely suggest? A. Deep focus on content. B. Anxiety about time or disengagement. C. Agreement with the material. D. Compliance with learning. 13. When developing curricula that emphasize communication, instructors should encourage A. Rigid and controlled gestures. B. Consistent alignment of verbal and nonverbal cues. C. Limited use of facial expressions. D. Overuse of hand movements. 14. Which facial expression most clearly conveys empathy in mentoring? A. Neutral expression. B. Gentle smile and nodding. C. Tight lips and furrowed brow. D. Raised eyebrows with pursed lips. 15. In regulatory compliance training, what nonverbal cues should a facilitator avoid? A. Eye contact with participants. E. Pointing fingers aggressively. C. Open hand gestures. D. Upright posture. 16. Which nonverbal strategy enhances adult learning retention? A. Repetitive pacing without gestures. E. Using visual alignment between gestures and spoken concepts. C. Reading aloud without expression. D. Folding arms while explaining. 17. During communication workshops, which body language reflects openness? A. Arms uncrossed, palms visible. Looking at the floor while speaking. C. Turning away from participants. D. Tapping fingers on the table. 18. A mentor notices a mentee leaning forward during conversation. This most likely shows A. Disagreement. B. Engagement and interest. C. Fatigue. D. Compliance concerns. 19. How can evaluators identify deceptive nonverbal behavior? A. Consistency between verbal and nonverbal cues. B. Overly rehearsed gestures and inconsistent expressions. C. Eye contact combined with nodding. D. Relaxed body posture. 20. In adult learning sessions, open posture combined with a warm tone helps. A. Reduce learner resistance. B. Signal disinterest. C. Establish dominance only. D. Prevent questions. 21. Which body language behavior often signals defensive behavior? A. Crossed arms and closed posture. E. Relaxed shoulders and open stance. C. Consistent nodding. D. Forward lean. 22. In adult learning environments, pacing with intentional pauses and gestures helps. A. Reinforce understanding and maintain attention. E. Distract learners. C. Replace content delivery. D. Signal nervousness. 23. Which nonverbal behavior signals agreement in a group setting? A. Leaning back with folded arms. B. Nodding in rhythm with statements. C. Looking away consistently. D. Frowning. 24. During regulatory compliance training, facilitators should demonstrate ... A. Consistent, respectful gestures and upright posture. B. Lack of body movement. C. Hands in pockets. D. Aggressive pointing. 25. What does lack of facial expression during feedback suggest? A. Full comprehension. B. Possible disengagement or withholding response. C. D. Clear agreement. 26. Which gesture most effectively reduces learner anxiety? A. Open-handed gestures and nodding. B. Pointing directly at learners. C. Avoiding eye contact. D. Crossing arms tightly. 27. In mentoring, which nonverbal strategy enhances active dialogue? A. Mirroring gestures with subtlety. E. Staring without expression. C. Looking away frequently. D. Folding arms. 28. When traders maintain inconsistent eye contact, learners may interpret it as A. Confidence. E. Uncertainty or lack of engagement. C. Focused teaching. D. Regulatory compliance. 29. What nonverbal action is most effective during curriculum delivery? A. Gestures aligned with concepts taught. B. Random movements unrelated to topic. C. Avoiding gestures to prevent distraction. D. Repetitive pacing with folded arms. 30. In evaluation, learners who smile nervously may be showing A. Strong confidence. E. Anxiety or discomfort. C. Disinterest. D. Compliance mastery. 31. Which posture supports authority without intimidation? A. Standing tall with relaxed shoulders. B. Towering over participants aggressively. C. Sitting slouched. D. Folding arms. 32. During communication exercises, which action disrupts trust? A. Genuine smiling. B. Rolling eyes. C. Leaning slightly forward. D. Nodding. 33. Which body language element is vital for effective mentoring? A. Congruence between verbal and nonverbal signals. B. Contradictory cues. C. Avoidance of expressions. D. Hidden hands. 34. In regulatory assessments, which nonverbal indicator signals attentiveness? A. Upright posture, steady eye contact. E. Slouched with distracted gaze. C. Arms folded tightly. D. Looking away constantly. 35. Which nonverbal practice should trainers emphasize in adult learning? A. Eye contact, gestures, and posture aligned with instruction. Avoidance of gestures. C. Reading slides without interaction. D. Distracting movements. 36. Which body language cue undermines authority in mentoring? A. Slouched posture and lack of eye contact. B. Open hand gestures. C. Steady upright stance. D. Active listening signals.